to everybody, and tell us what you do at Winsurance.
Hello, good evening. So I'm here representing Winsurance tonight, as Nuno is not available. So I take care about almost all the insurance from the expats, except for the car insurance.
Okay.
All the others I can give you support. So you can send a message, an email to me, to Camila.Bonfante.
That's great. So
yeah.
it's so good to meet you privately. Sorry, as you can hear from you, we are live on YouTube now. I don't want to hear myself twice. Once is bad enough. But so how fantastic to have you, Camilla, dealing with a lot of the expat connections there at Winsurance. So some of you may know Camilla already, and a great person to have with us tonight and to talk about those particular issues and challenges that expats might have moving to Portugal with any of their insurance requirements. So excellent to have you here. And no doubt other members of the dream team will be joining us as well. Let's go back to Daniel for a moment. And I mentioned there, Daniel, there were people who were unhappy about some of the proposed legislation for the AL, Alojamento Local, proposed legislation, which was going to be finalized, I think, in the Assembly of the República. Yesterday, they were outside making a noise, wanting their voices heard. Did that work?
Unfortunately, no. So the law of the package Mais Habitação, or more housing or more habitation, if you want to translate it that way, it was indeed approved by the parliament. Now the part of the law is basically it needs to be sent to the president, and the president will need to assess the law. He can do one of three options. Basically, he can veto the law politically and state, well, this is not a type of package that I want in the country, and then the law will be returned back to the parliament. I don't think he will do that, to be honest, because this would be just entering a face-to-face with the government. And there's some support, at least political support, and even people support on some of the measures that are being put forward. So I don't think that he will veto the law. So the other two options is to approve it, and he has around 20 days to approve the law, this package Mais Habitação, and or he can send the law to the Constitutional Court within 8 days. So there's some tricky stuff in that law regarding coercive rental of the properties. And as the president is a law teacher, or was a law teacher before he was a president, he was actually my law teacher of constitutional, the constitutional stuff in university. I think that he will be thorough on the constitutional aspect out of it. And if he finds something unconstitutional, he will indeed send the law to the Constitutional Court. If this is the case, what will happen is that the full package will be delayed at least 2 to 3 months, and we should still have Alojamento Local and golden visas and all that until around September, the end of September or October. So the ball is now on the courts, or on the president court's side. Let's see what's his next move, if he just approves the law or either sends it to the Constitutional Court. These are my my go-to options, I would say. So it's just a wait and see at the current moment.
Wow. Okay. So business as usual, pretty much until
Correct.
October, and then
Yep.
things will change, as we've been hearing about. And
well,
the president.
it's going to be business as usual if the president does send the law to the Constitutional Court. But if he approves the law and within 20 days, I would say towards, let's say, the first week of August, or the 10th of August, this package may be approved. So the two options are equally valid. We'll just need to wait for probably next week. We'll have some developments on the president's side, and I can share a bit more. But basically, what's happening is a moratorium on the Alojamento Local, on the local lodging or Airbnb. And this will affect a lot of people that did not request the licenses until now. The major opposition party already said that once they get into power, they will overthrow the majority of the measures. So this I would say it's no fun, because something as dramatic as this package should be with somewhat of a consensus, a broad political consensus. Otherwise, the law will just be shifting back and forth, and that creates a lot of uncertainty. So yes, let's see the next moves.
Well, that's been the problem, isn't it? Is the uncertainty that it's created. Correct. And you say the president is unlikely to rock the boat unless there's a constitutional issue, because he's that kind of guy.
Correct.
I don't know if this is the right time to ask this question, but and this is the same around the world. But why is it so many people of a legal background go into politics, do you think? As a lawyer yourself.
Question. Yeah, as a lawyer myself. Well, my experience in university, the political parties in the university had and still have a big presence. If you see Antonio Costa, he went to my university, the president went to my university, and a lot of people sitting down in the parliament are lawyers or people with the law degree. I think there's a lot of people that go and take the law degree because they like politics and they want to be involved in politics, and the law degree is actually useful for politics. And the two things go hand in hand, I would say. So it's quite common to see a lot of politicians that have the law degree in Portugal and elsewhere as well. So it's I think it comes with two things are really tied together, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. And but if you do make it there yourself, if that becomes your career path, sounds like you'll see a few familiar faces from the alma mater.
At the time when I was in uni, I was enrolled in a political party. I did support a political party, so I was strong on that actually. But I did lose interest halfway once I did see how the parties did operate in the inner workings of a party. So once I saw how they operated, I lost interest, and I just wanted to keep away from all that.
Wow!
But I do know a few faces that are now being well known, that are reaching or secretaries or even ministries. So some of the faces that I did know from university, or some of them were my teachers, are now showing up in politics, because some of them that were my teachers are 40, 45. So they are in that age that they will appear as public figures.
That's amazing. Sounds to me, Daniel, like you became cynical at quite a young age. And it'll be lovely to have you. It'll be lovely to have you staying in law and doing the fantastic job that people write fantastic testimonials about Raising Pelicano. Thank you for being here tonight. And I hope you're feeling a bit better with your back soon. Because of course you're an Ironman triathlete as well, so you need to get in shape for that soon. Great to see you here. Thank you very much. So we've got Daniel from Raising Pelicano. We've got Camilla and Joanna Peja from Winsurance as well. Good evening to you, Joanna. Would you like to say hello? You may prefer not.
Hello to everyone. Good night.
Hello. How are you?
Everything okay, Carl?
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, good to see you here. We are now live streaming on YouTube as well, Joanna. So tell all the family. You're live on YouTube this evening as well, if you want to WhatsApp the family as well. The dream team. We also have, so we'll come back to you, Joanna and Camilla, for insurance questions. And some of those people who were on the previous webinar about flying pets to Portugal will want to know about pet insurance as well. Anything to do with insurance in Portugal, Winsurance are your people, and they can answer your questions tonight. Gilda is here. The questions are a little slow this evening. Maybe it's going to be one of those evenings where we don't have many, and then suddenly at 9:45, everybody starts asking questions. My advice to you would be to get them in early. Thank you for being here, Susie in San Francisco. Barack is here, Texas, Laurie in Arizona. I think you guys are quite warm over there. So this is great news. We love these celebrations, people moving towards Portugal and bringing their new lives here after some time being patient. Flights are booked for Saturday the 30th. Well done, Stuart. Great to see you on your way to Portugal. Excellent stuff. Parabéns. Phyllis, hello from South Florida. And the first question from Barack, which we'll come back to. I've got used to calling you Barack. Barak, I think, is how you say your name. Let's see what Gilda, see how Gilda is doing. I've seen pictures of you, Gilda, with your wonderful exhibition, I think, on Facebook, that will be touring the country. How are you this evening, Gilda?
I'm fine.
Why are you laughing? Are you really fine?
Yes, I am. I'm so fine and relaxed that I was starting having dinner when you text me.
I thought it might be useful to send you. I just had this feeling I might send you Gilda the link. And on the one hand, I'm really pleased for you that you're relaxed and you were just about to, have a glass of wine and having dinner. On the other hand, please don't do that to me again. But great to have you here.
Because I did that once to you, but it was a joke. You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. You are so naughty. Honestly,
yes, but today it wasn't. Today I completely forgot. I was starting to have my dinner, and then Carl. Oh, what's
what
that?
does he want?
Oh, a link. Oh.
Thanks for being here. How's the world of visas and CEF? Any news to report, Gilda?
Yes, so this week, yesterday, we had the opening of the renewal of the resident permit renewal until the end of September.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And does that cause quite a flurry of activity at AHQ?
Yes, of course, because everyone was in the computer and the site was busy, the site was going down. People had to stay awake in late hours at night or very early in the morning to try to find a slot.
Wow.
To make this.
Okay, well, exciting news. Anything else from the world of CEF and migration?
No, all the rest remains the same.
Okay, kind of sorry to hear that, but no news is good news in some ways as well. We're still awaiting for the results of the reorganization. Great to see Linda and Derek here. I have a great testimonial that I've been sent about Winsurance. Linda, can you indicate that will be okay to share that with you, because it's a beauty, and I know you're big fans, both you and Linda are fans of A and of Winsurance as well. So if you could signal to me that you're happy for me to read that out. It name checks Camilla. Get ready to be embarrassed and blush, Camilla. It's some very positive words about you and your service. Stuart saying, I think it's a bit of feedback for you, Gilda. Marianne A. Porto has been such a great assistance to us. So if you could pass that on tomorrow, that'd be fantastic. Phyllis in South Florida, we have our consultation call with A tomorrow. So excited. And Derek says yes.
Phyllis, is that with me?
Why do you need another link in case you're having lunch tomorrow? Anyway, so I need to get over that, don't I? I need to get over that. Okay. All right. It's 113 rising to 116 for Laurie. That is, where was that, Laurie? Do remind me. Oh, Arizona. Okay. That first question from Barak, sorry. Does anyone know if there are specific breeds not allowed into Portugal, and are there ways around that if there is? Can't possibly answer the second part. Does your work in the law extend to what are called dangerous dogs, Daniel?
Well, there's around, I think it's 7 or 8 breeds in Portugal that are restricted. So if the dog is registered with that type of breed, you need to have a special insurance and some extra measures. And there's some extra care that you need to have with those 7 or 8 breeds. But you are allowed to have the dog. So as long as you fulfill the legal criteria, you will be allowed to have the dog. And you can come with that dog to Portugal and register the dog. That's basically it.
Oh, that's really good. So there aren't any breeds that are banned. They just have those on the list have a particular kind of treatment, and you have to follow a particular process.
Correct. They are considered dangerous breeds, and it's breeds like the Rottweiler, the Pit Bull, the Brazilian Count Fila. This is a specific name. So that list, if you do have one of those dogs, you need to have the dog registered within the municipality. You need a special insurance, and you need to have the dog with a muzzle once you are walking the dog, and in the leash at all times. This is for all dogs, but specifically for those types of breeds. And you cannot have a criminal record. If my memory stands correct, you may not have a criminal record because those dogs, as they are considered dangerous, the person holding the dog needs to have a clean criminal record. But this, from memory, is what is needed to have those special breeds.
That's great, because there's some quite niche information there, and this too from Laurie. Thank you though, Daniel, for answering. My guys are non-dangerous breed mixes, does the dangerous breed only relate to purebreds? That might need a little bit of a consultation.
It only relates to purebreds.
Oh, okay.
So if it's a mixed breed and it's registered as a mixed breed, then no worries on that.
Okay, and you can find Daniel in the business directory, expatsportugal.com. And Daniel, we will need your help with this. One more item to add to our list. There's always a big list, but we've got all the great people to help you with that list here on the Dream Team. 9 o'clock every Thursday. We have a Labrador Staffordshire Terrier mix. So there you go. You heard the answer to that. A mix is not a problem. Patrick says, my cat is totally aloof. Is there a joke in there somewhere, Patrick? Are we waiting for the my dog's got no nose kind of joke? I have a DNA test to show he's a mix. Wow, some of the situations you dog owners get into, but I think that's good news for both Laurie and Barak there. Let's go back to other questions that have been coming in. S, thank you for this, a familiar name to us. Family of 5. Well, this is one for you, Gilda. And by the way, Gilda, the Phyllis's consultation is with Christina, just to let you know. S, family of 5. Is it possible for us to do the application process for 2 adults with A and for us to do the application for our 3 kids on our own? I'm not sure how the applications are submitted and how it all works. Thank you, says S. He or she is not saying why they want to do it that way, but is that a situation you'd be happy with, Gilda?
Well, before the law changed, it would be possible, although not advisable, but it would be possible. But now, because all the documentation goes together, I don't think we have never done it separated. Okay. And I don't think it's possible to do it because we prepare the package as a whole.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure what your motivation is there, S, but that does sound a little bit difficult if you want to look A on that. And don't forget, you will get a discount. If it's a cost matter, you will get a discount if you're an Expats Portugal premium member.
And also for the kids, it's half of the price.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. If that's indeed if it is about cost there. Thank you, Gilda. I think this is for you as well. From Jennifer, I have both a US citizenship and an EU citizenship via Greece. Is it easier for me to relocate to Portugal via my EU citizenship? Are there different insurance and resident applications for an EU citizenship? Generally speaking, it is easier, isn't it, Gilda, if you've got an EU?
Yes, it is easier. Okay. You can get in touch with us and then we will explain you the difference and we will present you a step plan to do it as a European citizen.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that, Gilda. Jennifer, I hope that helps. Brian's asking, let's go over to the insurance desk right now. I know you've dealt with this, and you two are brilliant. You're working behind the scenes, answering questions, so that we can share this as general knowledge here. How expensive is Rottweiler basic insurance? Now, I'm guessing Rottweiler is one of those breeds that were mentioned before. And I know it's difficult to put you on the spot to get a particular quote. We can't do that live on air, can we? But can you give any indications, Camilla, or at least tell us how easy that process is?
The process is pretty easy because we need some information, the ship number, the vaccination card, and this kind of thing, and we prepare a quote. What we need to do, and what we make some difference regarding the how expensive it can be. It's the age of animal and this kind of. But I'm not sure regarding how expensive it will be because it's a Rottweiler.
Okay, all right. So you need to have a call, and Camilla's put.
What we normally do, it's we have both together, liability and health insurance. We can do this both together. So it's a good package.
Okay, forgive me for looking behind me just then. I thought a dog had come into the studio. It's my wife on all fours for some reason. Not now, dear. Right, okay. She's obviously looking for something in the studio there. They've lost a kitten. And we're not insured yet. Okay, all right. I'll ring you tomorrow, Camilla. This is stay where you are because I've got a fantastic testimonial from you for you about you. In fact, this is from the Keiths, 5-star review of Winsurance. The service which you received from Nuno at Winsurance was exceptional. Having watched Nuno as part of the Dream Team on the Expats Portugal website webinars, we decided from the outset to contact him about our medical health insurance. We are indebted to Camilla Bonfant as part of his team for her outstanding handling of the whole process to obtain our health cards from MGen. Without our high levels of knowledge and expertise in the process, this would just have not been so simple to follow. In addition, her excellent communication skills and high levels of support enabled us to have complete trust in all advice given, as this was an essential part of SEF interview for our residency in Portugal. We attended the meeting with confidence that all the steps had been followed. Thank you, Camilla, for the vital part that you played in this process. And thank you, Nuno, if you could pass that on, Camilla. You know that we will now come directly to you for any other insurance inquiries. How about that? That's lovely to hear.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to work with them. They are so sweet and we have great time on our calls.
Oh, good. Extra bonus. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, it's always fun to talk with the clients and to help them. And congratulations that your appointment were successful.
How lovely. Great stuff. Thank you, the Keys. Thank you, Camilla. Let's pop back to Gilda for just a moment. This is an aside, but SEF is making its impression or its presence felt around the world. In our household, if I'm late or forget something, I just say, sorry, I am on SEF time. Daniel, that's not an excuse that will stand up in court, I don't think. Is it all right?
No, it won't.
It won't.
It's a good one, though, but it won't.
It is a good one. Okay. Laurie's asking, back to you, Camilla, can you give some ballpark prices on pet health insurance, sort of example prices for an annual premium? Is that possible? Oh, we need you to unmute as well, Camilla.
So it's difficult because it depends of the breed, depends of the age of the pets and everything. So I cannot give some price, but I can prepare a quote if I have this initial information.
There you go, Laurie.
So I'm gonna send my email here, and Laurie can send the information, and I prepare everything to her.
Perfect. And you've heard how easy and lovely it is to deal with the folks, especially Camilla there at Winsurance. So why not make that call? Laurie, Stuart, we arrive in Budench later on this month. Marianne has managed to get me a SEF appointment in October. However, Gilda, there is no appointment available for my wife. Will this cause an issue? I guess they're just still waiting, and one may arise quite soon.
This has been happening. What we do is that we call every day, as you know, and when it's possible, we make an appointment.
Right, there you go.
Let me just take a note here so that tomorrow I can see how the situation is.
Thank you for doing that for Stuart. That's what happens here on the Dream Team. And if you're working with A, you get that kind of level of service. And we have a question from Patrick, which you can answer as well, Gilda, if you will. Does health insurance, as a classic, does health insurance need to be in place before moving or when I move? I mean, it needs to be in place for the all-important SEF appointment, doesn't it?
Yes, it needs to be in place for the SEF appointment. So it needs to start before the SEF appointment.
Okay, so talking of all the questions to do with migration and visas, that is the session that we're having at 7:30, the webinar, the Portugal Calling webinar next Thursday at 7:30 Portugal time. We will be talking to A, and we'll be going back, won't we, to the basics, the soup and the nuts, I think some people call it, of migration, but every aspect from top to bottom and just revisiting the whole process, I think, back to the A to Z, right, Gilda, next week?
Yes.
Okay, so looking forward to that. Pedro, it would be great if you had a vet on. It's just like being on an airplane. Ladies and gentlemen, is there a vet currently with us, flying with us? I don't think we have got a vet. We needed a bit more probably time, Jerry, didn't we, to organise that in the future? But a note to Jerry, possibly.
Yeah, I'm on it, Carl. Great suggestion, Pedro. Thank you very much for that. We'll work on it.
Very good. There you go. I bet you're glad.
I can indicate one if you want.
Fantastic. The plan is coming
Thanks,
together.
Gilda.
We're not just.
It's someone that I indicate to my clients too.
This is brilliant.
Right. Okay. Let me know, Gilda.
Okay.
We'll talk to that person. Excellent.
This is not just the dream
What
team.
teamwork? What
Yes.
teamwork?
But Jerry, this is not just the dream team. This is the A team. The plan is coming together. Somebody only had to
Yes.
ask a question. And I think you're probably you're the handsome guy from the A team, aren't you, Jerry? I'm not going to say who B.A. Baracus is because we'll leave it at that. We'll just leave it calling Jerry face of the A team.
Sorry, did you say I was handsome, Carl?
Yes, I did. And it's being recorded.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you cared. Oh, lovely.
Didn't know I cared. Right, Brian. Hi, Gilda. As a couple, not married, can I apply for a D7 visa while my partner applies whilst looking for a working visa? P.S. Thanks to Camilla as well. So, Gilda, couple not married, can I apply for a D7 while the partner approaches or advances on a work visa?
Yes, of course you can, but also if you are not married, but you live together for more than 2 years, and you can show that you are divorced or widow, you can make the process together. Of course, that's I need to see if you respect all the legal requirements for the migration law to do the process together as a common law partner.
And that's the stipulation. Common law partnerships need to be of 2 years. 2 years.
Yes, 2 years minimum.
Thank you. So that's a go there on that, Brian. And those are the T's and C's basically for that. Let us know if we can help any further. We also have questions coming in on YouTube. Good evening to you, Vicky Mohammed Bonoit from beautiful Lisbon. Great to have you here. Mr. S. Hi, Gilda. The wording about time outside of Portugal is not clear, and it seems very much open to interpretation. I've heard all versions. That's what happens. It's probably a social media thing, isn't it? It's very confusing. I mean, I think we'll talk about this next week, but time outside of Portugal, this is the 90 days, 180 days, I think, that Mr. S is referring to, right, Gilda?
Yeah, this is the 6 months and 8 months rule.
Okay. And we will deep dive into that and we'll make it absolutely clear. We probably need a more specific question from Mr. S, don't we, to help with that? I mean, Mr. S is absolutely right. It is open to interpretation and it's a little bit confusing, isn't it? That's true, isn't it? But if we have a particular scenario, case study, we can probably help a little bit better, Mr. S, on that. Unless you want to say something on that, Gilda. I
don't think it's confused. I think that for people that really know how to analyze the law, it's pretty much clear. I think that people don't want to
hear the answer.
Yeah, they don't want to hear the answer. Because
Daniel must get this all the time. It's very clear. You just don't like the answer.
Exactly. Because what the law says is that you cannot be away from Portugal 6 months consecutive or 8 months. Yes. Not consecutive. I forgot the word now.
Contiguous.
No.
Is that
non-continuous or
non-continuous? Yeah, interpolated. That's what I want to say. Or 8 months interpolated.
Yes.
In the time of your resident permit.
Right.
Okay. What is the duration of your resident permit? 2 years. The first one.
Yeah.
3 years. The second one.
Yes.
So now you need to make your calculations.
Okay, within those periods of 2 and 3 years, respectively.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
What is the confusion that is made here? Before the change of the law, in October last year, no, actually this changed with the COVID in 2020. Before that changed, it was every year. So they had much more time to be out of Portugal. But then the resident permit changed for 2 years because they didn't have capacity to be renewing all the time, the resident permits.
Yeah, okay.
But the time remained the same. This rule remained the same.
Okay. And then so some people before the change are on Facebook groups saying, no, it's like this. That's how it was.
Yes,
For us.
yes.
The law changes and people are saying, well, it's not like that for us now. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
where the confusion has arisen. And that is an interesting point. Yeah. The law is the law. You might just not like being on the awkward side of that if it doesn't suit your particular lifestyle or aspirations. But it is clear, as you're just saying, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more next week. Thank you for that question, Mr. S. Briefly on the vet, is that vet Mandela approved is an important question.
Yes, it is.
And I can also tell everybody, that's good to know, that Mandela seems to have his own GIF. Do only A clients get to receive that GIF on WhatsApp if they that little sticker of
no, not really.
You
can consider yourself lucky.
Oh, thank you so much. I do feel privileged.
But maybe I will send more.
Okay, all right. Ask for it by name. The Mandela GIF or GIF. I don't know. Maybe.
But the thing is that most of the people don't understand that it's really Mandela.
I didn't, not believe that for a moment, Gilda. I was hoping it would be authenticated, official Mandela merch coming through on my phone there. Brilliant. Okay, so he does approve of that vet. Sounds like it's the vet he's going to. And yeah, that was incredible. Telling us last week about this spa that he's going to when you go on your next break. We're looking forward to how that goes. We have another question over on YouTube. Jairo Medina, good evening to you. D7 visa travel insurance requirements. Do you need to get 6 months coverage or is a year a requirement for the USA?
Well, it depends on the consulates. We had this discussion before.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to let us know, Jairo, which is your consulate and who makes the decision regarding the amount of time for the travel insurance? Again, that's the same answer, isn't it? Depending on which official you speak to and how they're interpreting the law.
We are, that A is very conservative when we prepare the process. So we are now advising everyone to go for 1 year travel insurance.
Okay.
For two reasons. First one is because we know that the consulates are becoming more demanding on the requirements. When one consulate starts to asking for 1 year, it's just a matter of time that other consulates are going to start asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other reason is because it's taking such a long time. Sometimes when the process goes to SEF, they look at it and they say, oh, this is overdue. And then it goes back and they ask for a new one.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably the direction of travel, isn't it? And Jairo, get in touch with insurance, of course, for that, for a quote for that service as well. Thank you very much that we covered that question from Patrick about insurance as well. Thank you so much for your testimonial, Derek and Linda. Great question from Patrick. Jerry, this might be for you, given some of the conversations we've had in previous webinars about shipping things. Is it worth shipping? I beg your pardon. Patrick's asking, is it worth shipping televisions from the US or to buy new in Portugal? A man's basic question. Quite sexist, but probably true. There, Jerry.
Well, the likelihood is that the voltage will be different. So you need to check first and foremost that the TV can cope with 240 volts rather than the 110 that's in the US.
Yeah.
You can buy converters, but I'm very wary of those things. I've seen them catch fire. I'm not sure that it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
TVs are not that expensive in Portugal to replace. Top of my head, you could buy a pretty good TV from around 300 euros, I would think, a smart TV.
Yep, definitely. And then there are times where there are the tax holidays. Some of the retailers will do an EVA free day or weekend, won't they? Which is going to save you 23%. So that's a pretty good discount when that's happening.
But the really big issue is the voltage.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure about that, don't ship it because, I have had experience back in the UK of bringing electrical items from the US in and bought the converters and everything else, and they just don't work. They eventually just stop working, and I think can be quite dangerous.
They're a bit risky, aren't they, to add things into the mix there that can get hot.
Yeah.
You don't really want that. And the worst things, of course, the worst culprits for shipping are things with motors, aren't they? They're not a good thing to bring. Anything that's motorized, it's not worth it. And with a big TV, if you're shipping it as well, it could get damaged. So I think maybe the price differential makes it probably worthwhile looking for a bargain on this side of the water, Patrick. I think Jackie's got something to add to that. Jackie?
One of the things I would suggest is getting online to Quanta Custe. It's a website, and you figure out what TV you want, and they'll list 20 places and the prices they have it.
Fantastic.
So Quanta Custe is how much in Portuguese. If you don't
Very
speak
good.
Portuguese.
Free language lesson, as well as a very good resource there. Can we have that in the chat as well, please, Jackie? If I could be a bit demanding there, a bit of a diva. I'd love that.
Sure.
That'd be helpful
I'll do
for
that.
Patrick as well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Barak, I think, needs that as well. Oh, and Barak, I think pushing it with the with the A team and the dream team tonight. How about a farrier and an equine vet? I think really that's another cracking question for the forum, isn't it, Jerry? And over the years of the Expats Portugal forum, you can bet that somebody will have recommended a farrier and an equine vet on the forum over there. What do you reckon?
Well, I thought a vet was a vet, basically, but I'm probably...
True. Yes, maybe a specialist then.
So hopefully Gilda's recommendation can work out, or he or she will know someone that we can contact. So we will look at that. But I have to say, we do not get that many members looking to. In fact, I don't think we've ever had a member who wants to bring a horse to Portugal.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then we could have Barak doing his own webinar at some point.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's great.
Well, I'll participate on this. I've seen the import of horses, and it wasn't me that was handling the process, but I did see that from the UK to Portugal, and it's nightmarish. It's something. It is. It's really complicated because they need vet certificates from the municipal vet, and it's really difficult to deal with those guys. So I've seen it firsthand, and it was not easy.
All right, Barak, when you make your call to Daniel, you might want to put that on the list as well of things to talk about. have that little bit of insight from Daniel as well. Thanks, Daniel. The name of the Tex-Mex restaurant in Caldas, we were talking, weren't we, last week about great places to eat with food other than, forgive us, but we were talking about food other than Portuguese food. Nachos e mais. That's a great name, isn't it? The owners are really nice and the food was delicious. Thank you, S, for that. Interpolated, thank you, Susie, for that. This is a banking question. We haven't talked about banks for ages, Gilda, have we? Is there a new or different Portuguese bank deposit amount minimum required after your initial 2-year visa? So if you would, Gilda, tell us about what's needed after the 2-year visa in the bank and any updates on opening bank accounts at the moment. You're smiling in a worrying kind of way.
So I've been working now with Eurobic.
Yeah.
And I'm happy so far.
Excellent. You cracked it with Eurobic. I'm with them and I have been very happy, but it's about the individual.
Are you?
I am. I mean, I've got
Great.
people who ring me from the branch that I was at a long time ago in a different part of the country. They ring me if there's an issue. And they're fantastic, but that's because they're great individuals. And as we've said before, it's not about the brand, is it? It's about the individuals you make a relationship with.
Yes, but I'm really happy.
Great.
I had a meeting with them at a higher level. I said, okay, this is the issue. My clients, they need this attention. They want to have this done. They want to open the bank accounts remotely. Are you able to help me or not? It's a straightforward question.
It is, isn't it? And they said,
yeah. And they said, yes, we are. And they were very authentic because they told me, Gilda, we are not going to lie to you. It is going to take time. Mm-hmm. And we are going to tell the clients that it's not going to be from today to tomorrow, and some nationalities are going to be more difficult than others because they are going to compliance. But yes, we are here to help. And so far, so good.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And the other part of the question, 2-year visa, what's going to be needed in the bank?
Okay, so in our opinion, it's not written in the law, but in our opinion is that now you should have the Portuguese minimum wage times 24 months.
Okay. All right. There you go. Laurie, I think that was you asking that. Thank you, Barak, for your input on travel insurance. Peda's thankful for the vet special that we'll be doing in due course. And thanks everyone for the TV talk as well. That's really helpful. Europe has a different pixel ratio. It's looking more and more like it's a better idea to buy one over here. Laurie also asking, I'm going through San Francisco and just received return emails from both VFS and the consulate telling me 1 year from the time of arrival in Portugal. Is that about the insurance? I think it probably is there, isn't it? Barak, I think, sorry to mix my metaphors here, but Barak possibly willing to be a guinea pig when it comes to the horses. How difficult is it to find furnished apartments in Portugal? That's a Casa Portuguesa question there, Gilda. How it's not that difficult, is it? You might not like the furnishings, but it's not that difficult to find one furnished.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was more difficult in the beginning, but now because most of the houses that were bought were to rent to foreigners, I see that more and more nowadays, most of the houses are furnished.
Yeah, and often with landladies here in Portugal, they're often very resourceful and will be flexible about that. You know, and if you say I want it furnished or I don't want it furnished, there may be room for some flexibility on that. I don't think it's as hard and fast as it is possibly in some other countries. So Casa Portuguesa for sure, and find them in the business directory. Thank you for the link there, everybody, for quantacosta.pt for the price comparisons. Marcy, very happy with the Eurobic situation there. Opened an account with Eurobic in Porto and the staff were wonderful. Laurie's asking, is Eurobic still requiring a notarized copy of your social security card? Have you got that far in the process with them, Gilda? That was what tripped me up, as it is illegal for a notary to do so in the US.
Yes, I know that Laurie had that problem, but I don't, she was the only one having that problem, so I don't know.
Okay.
Overall, I think that maybe she can talk with Miguel. I think he was the one assisting her. Okay. Try to find a solution.
All right. There you go, Laurie. Maybe pick up on that conversation. I'm not seeing Laurie. Okay, she maybe doesn't want to do that. LLO question since last week, VFS Global, and then we're not seeing the rest of your questions. So if you want to get that in, and I suggest you get it in soon, only 15 minutes to go. We haven't checked specifically how Mandela is doing or anyone else's pets this evening. We'll do that in just a moment. And Jackie, were you putting your hand up again to contribute, or was that from last time?
I'm sorry, I didn't put it down.
It's okay. I did after the last call, I didn't want to ignore anyone. I had Jerry waiting to speak and I didn't notice, so I didn't want to make that mistake again. Okay, if I relocate to Portugal, says Jennifer, I will have to still work because I'm not retired. Does anyone in the group have experience with working in Portugal after relocation and having to pay dual taxes in both the US and Portugal? You do deal with this, don't you, Gilda? And it's not unusual. Would you say that more people are coming now to work? Is the balance different in terms of lots of people were coming on the D7, weren't they, before? Are we finding more and more people are coming to work in Portugal now?
Yes, much more.
Okay. And so you can point people in the right direction, like Jennifer, who have to deal with the taxation problem of both paying tax in the United States, because they're never going to let you go, as well as here in Portugal. And we can signpost you there in the business directory as well. I hope that helps, Jennifer. And Laurie, okay, Laurie has found a different banking solution. And Peda, it's crazy that the UK did away with the British pet passport scheme. Health certificates are a nightmare, horse or dog. Says Peda. And like I said before, we are here to help and offer some moral support, Peda. We know you're going through a few challenges with that. Log into the forum and get a little bit of help over there. Washington, D.C., coming back to Gyro.
I didn't reply to... Sorry.
What was that, Gilda? Did you mean to say that out loud?
Yeah, I didn't reply to... I said Jennifer.
Okay.
Something happened. Wait, something.
Well,
happened.
we were answering the question about taxes.
Yes.
Still working. Okay, let us know, Jennifer, if you still got an outstanding inquiry.
No, I lost the question. We didn't answer the question.
I thought that was a relocation and still working.
Yes, she can still work, but she wants to know about the dual taxes. You pay in the US.
Yep.
You pay in the US, but you need to declare them in Portugal.
Yep.
And because there is a double taxation agreement, you only pay the difference if there is any.
There you go. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, for that question. Thank you, Gilda, for that.
You see, I need to be focused because you are not focused, Carl.
At least I was here on time. Anyway, let's not air our dirty linen in public. Gilda, we'll go back to Sharon Medina. This you were saying, weren't you? The consulates, the VFS had different requirements. Jairo is with Washington DC. So do you find Washington DC are asking for 6 months or 12 months of the insurance requirement?
For now, 6 months.
For now, 6 months. That's good news, Jairo. But like you said before, Gilda, you like to err on the safe side, don't you? So you would be encouraging a year. All right. S is enjoying our banter here, I think. I think that's what that lol's about in the chat there. We've moved on from Sardine Gate and we're having other interactions here. LO's question: when you log into VFS Global, the New York website, they're only giving visa options when applying. One, a Schengen visa short stay. Oh, this is what it's like to be in Holden, is it, for the New York VFS? Number one, Schengen visa short stay. Number four, EEA EU, family member, national. It's almost going into hieroglyphics there, LLO. I'm not sure what your question is. Could you make anything out from that, Gilda?
Yes, continue.
Oh, it's my lack of focus. Again, maybe. I don't see a question in there. When you log into VFS Global, they're only giving these visa options. So what do you do if you? I think the question probably is then, if you're not hearing the option you want, what on earth do you do if that's your own? It's
because there aren't any vacancies available to apply for the kind of visa that he's looking for, which is a long stay visa or a residency visa.
Okay, all right. So what to do in that case?
Need to wait.
What, you just keep, really? And is that what they do then? They just take options off the switchboard and off the websites that they're not dealing with at the moment, causing a little bit of frustration?
Or try to send an email to the consulate or to the embassy, trying to make explain the case and try to find a slot with them directly.
Wow. Okay, LLO. I think that's probably the best we can do, isn't it, Gilda? Is to keep up the pressure and keep trying, basically, like people have had to do for these last few years. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Like I said, I didn't ask specifically how Mandela is doing, and I know some people in our community will not forgive me for that. How is the little fella?
He's fine.
He's fine, and we're counting down, aren't we, to the next holiday break to see how he responds to that. And we heard last week that he's off to a very nice spa where he'll have his own daily newspaper, a little white bathrobe and little slippers and all that sort of stuff. Fantastic. Okay, and a multiple choice when it comes to meals. Incredible. Well, good luck with that. Daniel, dog owner as well. Jackie, we know too. Let's do a quick check-in with all the pets this evening. Daniel, how are your dogs?
Well, they are all right. They are sleeping at the moment, so I can't bring them in. But
don't wake them.
Right.
Good, glad to hear it. Two pooches, as I recall. Jackie, we saw your lovely dog. Wanted to say hi in the last webinar. How are things over there?
Did you see her ear? It was completely taped up. She scratched it and got an infection. Oh. So I don't know if you could see. It looked like she had a little devil's horn on one of her ears.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
Well, now you know. But
okay,
anyway.
thank you for explaining that. Jackie, what's your experience? This is a great question to ask you, I think, because we seem to be steady on you two at Brian's house. I saw that. Yeah, they were the ones who asked about 2 years together in the relationship, I think there. Still at the kissy stage, even on Zoom. Very good. Jackie, it's a vet special tonight. And I'd love to hear your experience of coming over from the United States with a dog and the contrast between, you know, what your experience of engaging with vets over here.
Well, honestly, I live in Cascais where everything is a bit more expensive.
Right.
It is still, I would say, about 30% cheaper to use a vet. But you know how there's a huge differential in human care as opposed to the US, what it costs medical care in Portugal, there's this huge differential. It's not the same in vet care, at least not in Cascais. It's maybe 25 to 30% difference, but not the way you'd expect it to be.
Okay. So you're satisfied by the sound of it with how things are going and the reception for your pets and how they've adjusted to it. That's all been fine.
Yeah, I think that this is a great, I mean, think about it. My dogs are not we couldn't go out in a snowstorm with our dogs, or if it was 10 below zero.
Yeah.
You can't really walk a dog in 10 below zero. So my dogs have such freedom here. They're out every day for hours. It's like heaven for a dog.
Yeah, fantastic. And one thing I remember the other day when I was walking my pooches, I like to take them out in the morning and not too close to the middle of the day, even though that's when mad dogs and Englishmen do do go out in the midday sun. You've got to be careful, haven't you, with the paws and check. And I was thinking, if my neighbors see me, it'll be looking like I'm touching holy ground as I kneel and touch the floor. But I was just checking for the dogs, and that's something to bear in mind, isn't it? Is to make sure the pavement isn't too hot. They'll call the calçadas.
I also think it's important to bring water for your dogs.
Okay.
Even if it's only a 20-minute walk, your dogs, can really use a drink. If you get thirsty on a walk, they're also going to get thirsty. So.
All right. There's a lot of talk of drinks here. Someone's looking forward to having a beer with me in San Martino de Porto. I'll take it. Simon, thank you very much. And let's squeeze a few of these questions in that we've suddenly got a surge, as we always do, towards the top of the hour. And we've got a great problem to have. Thank you to you. Who was that who wanted to empty their drinks cabinet? We'll come back to that as our last question this evening. We've got a question that was Laurie on Urabic. We've got a great vet in Santa Cruz, says Jose. So another recommendation there. That was with the Catahoula who we met earlier on. Had her nails trimmed and the vet refused to charge us anything. She said it's the basic service for which they do not charge. She is amazing. So you hear these lovely stories as well. Andrea, is there any way to get reasonably priced shipping of my furniture and household items? Talk to GIR, also in the business directory, Andrea. In anticipation of my move to Portugal, I've downsized to a 1-bedroom apartment, but not really much furniture, but I've been quoted over $11,000 to transport everything. That's Houston to Lisbon. Well, check with GIR, Global International Relocation. You can find them in the Expats Portugal directory. Then more if to Porto. Jerry might like to connect with you directly on that and put you in touch. Andrea, better when preparing the ground in advance, for example, a successful D7 visa application, Gilda, this must be for you. Is it possible to have no commitment chat with an immigration lawyer? And if so, how do I do that? That's the introductory session, possibly, Gilda, that you do that, don't you? You can have a first consultation. There's a small charge for that, but you will get some amazing value, Gilda. Isn't that correct?
Yes, I don't quite understand the question, but what we do is that we have a first consultation. There is a fee for that because we will explain the process and we will answer your doubts. And then we will send you the step plan and the fees, and then you decide if you want to move on or not.
Okay, there you go. And you'll get some great value in that session there. And you can choose if you want to proceed or not, Pedro. I think that was basically...
But of course, you won't have doubts.
There you go. Simon, that went well in Guarda, now has a residency card. Wednesdays, the San Martino de Porto meetup, Simon, where you're very welcome to come and buy me a beer. Hello, beautiful people. Anan, how long is it taking to get the card by mail for the D8 visa after CEF? And how much money in the Portuguese account is required for the CEF appointment in the D8? for the D8, sorry, Gilda. So how long are they taking with that card in the mail?
Depends on the CEF.
Right. Okay. So roughly speaking, any sort of benchmarks that we can go to?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay. And the appointment, how much how much money is required in the Portuguese account?
It depends on the number of the family members, we need to analyze all the whole case. It's difficult to say a number without analyzing the whole case.
And why not call for that and get the advice? Maybe do one of those calls if you're not already engaged in the way that you're talking about. Belinda, I really wish I could split my time between Portugal, 6 months in Portugal and in the US. It just feels like Portugal is holding me hostage. Not a great deal we can do about that, is there, Gilda?
No.
Right, okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Well, but you can come, stay for when everything is going to be work, let's say normal.
Yeah.
Because now the CEF is not working as it should be.
Yes.
But when let's expect that the new agency is going to respect the law, what you can do is that you can come on the Daniel, don't laugh, please. You can come.
Was it the comment about when things return to normal?
Yes.
Right, okay.
You can come on the 3 months visa, and then according to the law, you are supposed to renew for another 3 months. And that is possible that in that case scenario, it is possible that you stay as a tourist for 6 months.
Okay. And you know what, Belinda? There are worse things than being held hostage in Portugal, right? We should make that point, shouldn't we? It's not the worst thing that could happen. So there you go, Belinda. Some insight from Gilda there. Did I cut you off there, Gilda? Were you going to add something?
No.
Okay, fantastic.
The only thing that you are not entitled to the same things as the residents are.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Crad did an inspection on our home, says Barak. All came back good, no major issues. You'll find them as well. Happy to do an inspection for you in the Expats Portugal business directory. Now, that last question, Gilda already had a fantastic answer to this. Stuart says, I have a large drinks cabinet. Thanks, everybody, for all your other questions. Join us every Thursday evening at 9 to ask the questions of the Dream Team. This is our concluding question tonight as we just after 10 o'clock. I have a large drinks cabinet. Is it possible to ship this with our household items, or do we have to drink it in the next week? Gilda, you've already given your answer. Send me your address. I think Jerry's flying back to Ireland soon, so Jerry might be able to help you out as well.
I don't recommend that you ship alcohol in a freight consignment. I really don't recommend it.
So Gilda's suggestion is the best, to pop round and offer to help with that.
Yeah, well, we'll have to go and drink it before it travels.
So Jerry, we go there.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
We have so many business things to discuss, so we go there.
The 18
That's a great idea, Jill. I just booked a flight for Sunday night. See you at Lisbon. Okay.
How about
see you
that?
here.
Would you agree, Camilla and Joanna? Thank you for being here tonight. Are you happy to join this party, fly to Ireland for a few days and have some fun with Stuart and family?
Sure.
Yes, no problem. Okay,
no problem. I
Camilla,
can take some days, some vacation with Nono, and I'm going to.
This is another great plan coming together tonight. Jackie, you in?
I'm in. It's between that and the flight with the dogs.
Yes, of course. Jackie will be arriving by a K9 private jet at Dublin International.
Daniel, the party.
Daniel, are you in?
I'm in, fully in. Let's go.
Fully, let's go. Joanna, I think we haven't heard from yet. I think Joanna's
Let's go too.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I'm in as well, as long as it doesn't clash with the beer that Simon's buying me in San Martino. But I'm sure we can figure that out. Thank you, everyone. You've been amazing. Joanna, thank you. You're on the screen at the moment. Thanks for being here. Camilla, fantastic. Daniel, superb. Thank you very much indeed. We'll keep an eye on this developing situation, Golden Visa and AL, of course. And Gilda, Queen of the Visas, thank you so much for remembering us. And I'll make sure I send you the link every week. And Jackie and Jerry, final words to you. Jackie first.
Bye. Bye. Good night, everyone.
Ciao, ciao, Jackie. Jerry, to you for the.
Just to add my thanks to our excellent team. Thank you very much. Thank you all the members for supporting us. And we'll see you next week at 7:30 Lisbon time, I believe, with Gilda.
Oh, yeah.
Says he yes, I needed that.
As long as I won't forget, yeah.
If you don't forget, we will remind you.
I'm all over it. You'll get the link.
Assuming we've sobered up, Gilda, from our little trip.
Yes,
that might be the real problem. But we'll be taking a very deep dive into the latest information on the whole visa process and everything that's associated with that. And the team will convene again next Thursday at 9 p.m. Lisbon time. Thank you all, and we'll see you in Portugal with your dogs.
Stand by, Stuart. They're on their way. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.